Before I was born, I was already unwanted. My story begins with a mom and dad like everybody else's, but unlike everybody else's, there wasn't a huge celebration. I was unplanned, I was unexpected, and I really was a mistake. When I was born, I didn't go home with my family. I was given up for adoption to an adoption agency to find a home for me. And amazingly, at 5 weeks old, I found my forever home, and I was adopted by my parents. And that was an exciting moment, but I think at that point, the door in my heart to rejection had already been opened. My real parents, those are the parents who raised me, they raised me in a way that I would understand what it meant to be adopted, even before I could even grasp the concept. They would check out books from the library and read them with me, show me how special I was and how I was wanted. Because of that door being opened when I was just an infant, I never felt like I fit in with people, and I did feel like that I wasn't accepted amongst my peers. And I became that girl that if you are friends with that girl, then you are uncool and you are rejected. And so in 5th grade, I didn't have any friends. I didn't have like anybody that would even want to play with me on the playground because I was that kid. I tried not to let it affect me. It was, but it was at school, there was this nagging feeling that nobody really wanted me around. For me, the isolation finally came to a head when I was 16. I now was feeling so isolated and so alone that I started thinking about killing myself. And that became a daily struggle. These thoughts would be running through my head of, there really is no purpose. There really is no plan. There really is no reason for you to be here. You're unwanted. If you were not here, no one would miss you. And that became an everyday thing. I remember driving in my car and I stopped at a stoplight and I couldn't take it anymore. It was like enough. And so I just began to pound the steering wheel, shouting, enough, enough, enough. And at that moment, I just cried out to God and I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I need your help. And in that moment, everything changed. God became my savior. I no longer thought about killing myself, or even like if someone didn't like me, that somehow I was rejected. If I had not been connected and serving at church, I would have had nothing. I completely changed my perspective on even my birth. My real dad kept a file folder, which I love. It's marked adopted child. And in that folder, it had a 1-sheet page of information on my biological parents and just the things that they had written down when they gave me up for adoption. And the one request that they made was that I went to a Christian home that not only planned for me to be taken care of as a child, but they planned for me spiritually. They wanted me to know God. They wanted me to have that foundation. They loved me enough to choose something better for me by giving me away. And I see God's hand on my life since before I was born. God had a plan for me in the middle of that. And there was something in me that my real parents needed. And there was something in my real parents that I needed to be able to do what God has called me to do. So God put us together. God made us a family. And in that, there's power, there's strength, and there's love.